Yo, what's up, everybody? T-Virus, what's up? Eduardo, Mr. Star. Yep, Mr. Star, you were right. I remember that from last stream. Appendo, what's up, Dope? Brian Garcia, Soon, Dragon Raiders, Clown, that guy Kev, and Dope is first again. Somehow, always first. That's awesome. BC character scaling to MFTL Plus has left the chat. Possibly. Left a like, appreciate that. We're barely even in the stream and you're already leaving likes. That's what's up. What's up, the Black Knight? Screen Seth, what's up? What's up, Alula? Or Allah? What everything about the chapter this week? I'm gonna start with the poll. What did you think about Black Clover 356? Great. Good. Okay. Bad. I was looking through the YouTube and saw you streaming. Nice, yeah. Yep, I usually stream when the chapters come out. I try to stream twice a week, but because it was my spring break this week, I was too busy like having fun and hanging out with family and stuff, so I didn't do my second stream. You moving stop time was so fire. Yeah. Yeah, Phantom made it. Thanks for coming in. But that is the craziness of this week, is the whole stuff. I mean, if you haven't read it yet, the Peter Pan and the title probably doesn't make any sense. But if you've read the chapter, you know what I'm talking about. What's up, The Real Baguette? Because Tabata had go crazy this week. What's up, Cloak? Now, before we get into the chapter, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about yesterday's theory video? Yeah, well, thanks for watching the videos, Aqua Gamer. Appreciate that. Yuno's turnaround was pretty epic. You also love Disney. Nice. What the heck? 56 slapped? Yeah. I mean, you guys are seemingly really liking it. Everybody thinks it's great or good. Not a single person so far has voted okay or bad, so that's how you know it's a pretty good chapter. Current paladins are above the past paladins? That's possible. We don't really even know much of what these current paladins can do. So we're talking about... Yeah, we will talk about that, Salik. You actually got me until it was to realize it was April 1st. Yeah. The Uno theory is something I never expected you to make. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, guys, is... I don't know if you guys realized it, but yesterday was April Fool's. Right? And... So yesterday's theory, it wasn't real. It was all made up. It was a joke. Like, I made stuff up because it was April Fool's. Like, here, let me see if I can screen share. So, if you look in here, well, I've made several hints that this was a joke. For example, I've capitalized April Fools in this, so like every capital letter here spells April Fools. And then you look at my chapters, it's not April Fools or anything. Like, and guys, look at this. So you know the interview that I used for. Well, you can barely see it. You can see it a little bit. This article was by Broku no Hero. It was it was all a joke. But I'm actually kind of glad because so many people fell for this. What if today's chapter is Tabata playing April Fool's joke and us and gets washed? That could be. I wouldn't be surprised if that Lucius isn't if that might not even actually be him. The video was a joke. Yeah, it was an April Fool's. I made so much stuff up in the theory. Yeah. Like I made like when like the whole book like I made up that interview, so the whole book of the end stuff, all that's made up. Like that, it's none of it's real. Um, the Father Orsi saying "another baby," that's a fake. I added a fake subtitle. The book that will end all magic, that was a fake subtitle. Tabasta, that was a fake. I wouldn't have edited that into it. But yeah, he said this before. He could say anything, we'll believe him. Yeah, it's so true. Oh, bro, it's got me for a second. I was like, bro, how? Yeah, so many people actually fell for it. It's funny because I know a lot of people a lot of people knew those April Fools for one because it was a crazy theory on April Fools, but there was so many people that fell for it. Like people were getting mad because they were trying to argue that the evidence wasn't there. And it was just so funny. I'm like, you guys are really arguing. Like this is hilarious. I'm glad that I did that. That doesn't necessarily follow dope. Current paladins have 4 horns and the past paladins have 2. The reason why I don't think this necessarily follows is because Lucius only has 2 horns. He only has 2 antlers. So I don't think that necessarily has to follow that just because they have more horns means anything. Still Tabasta, yeah. One Punch Man, I don't think that Yuno's gonna lose fast. Like, I think that person said next chapter. I don't think it'll be next chapter. You managed to convince a friend, you dropped Black Clover. That's hilarious. Nice. But, yeah, happy April Fools, everybody. Hey, Broke, what happened to that story, The Surrounding Darkness, you were writing? I mean, so, that's a story that... So basically, I don't know if you watched the video yesterday, but the last, 5 minutes of it was me reading, a excerpt from my light novel. And that light novel takes place in the same universe as, The Surrounding Darkness, but, I'm not going to be writing The Surrounding Darkness for a long time because it's going to be a really hard thing to write, so I want to get better. So, it'll come at some point, but the stuff I'm writing now is in the same universe, but it's just not the same story. Doesn't he have 4 antlers? No, he only has 2. That was April 2nd for you? That's funny. Yeah, time zones make it crazy, and it can be hard because sometimes it's early for people for April Fool, sometimes it's late, so... Yeah. What's funny is, I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 years ago, I posted a theory video on April Fools, and that was, Asta was sent forward in time, and so many people thought it was a joke. So I'm like, okay, if people thought that was a joke, just because I posted it on April Fools, so many people are gonna know that this is automatically an April Fools. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. You think Neverland Magic is great counter for Gojo's Infinite Magic? I mean, as long as you're way faster than Gojo's Perception, then you're getting past Infinity. Gojo's Limitless is honestly kind of overrated. There was things I left out in the video of Asta versus Gojo because I know for a fact it was just going to piss off too many JJK or Gojo fans. Even though it's just, pretty correct. But I tried to make it a bit more closer than it really was. No, that video is legit. That is a legit theory. That Asta getting sent forward in time. That is legit. But I just posted an April Fool's because I wanted to get it out. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but that theory was based off of an anime-only scene that was in the last episode of Black Clover. I posted that video one day after the anime ended at Black Clover. So that's the reason why it was an April Fool's, is because the last episode came out the day before April Fool's. So, no, that was actually a real theory. It's Broku, so... I mean, honestly, I had to fake scans for it and fake interviews, but yeah, I think it ended up actually being pretty convincing because of the fake interview, the Bleach references, and all that. I thought it was pretty convincing, but yeah, it's a joke. But yeah, it seems like you guys really like the chapter. 90 votes, 70% great, 21% good, 8% okay, 1% bad. So that means like one person has voted that it's bad. So yeah, I mean, not everybody's gonna like every chapter. You want to see some more Aussie Tootsies? What is that? If you know can stop time, why are his allies moving, or have I interpreted it wrong? So, basically, well, let's get into the chapter. Let's just get into it. So, I'll start with like a... We'll just go through what happened in this chapter. So, Lucius picks up where he leaves off, and then all the Magic Knights are trying to fight these angels. I think they are called angels. They are very powerful. They use several magic attributes at once. And also weird because they have this pose that Lucius does. And I believe that Lucifero and Dante did it as well. I mean, it's a pretty common, pretty simple pose, but I just find it interesting that they do that. But yeah, several Magic Knights all attack it at once, and they say that they can't even scratch it. Morris, a lot of people thought that Morris created them, but the official translations makes it seem like he wasn't the one. It makes it seem like it was Lucius, because he says he's taken rebels who weren't suited to the new world and reformed, combined, and transformed them into that world's guardians, angels. So these are angels. Traitors who threw the world into confusion have become beings who bring order to it. What a rational world. Basically, all of them are super powerful. It makes it so that all the Magic Knights are pretty much useless. They think that Magic Knights or nobles can... So basically, not even nobles can fight these things. So they're, I guess, strong. Because nobles at this point in the series... nobles at this point in the series should be fairly powerful. But Soul is finally back. Like, guys, we have not seen her in forever. I don't even remember the last time we saw her. I know for a fact we saw her when Charlotte confessed to her squad that she likes Yami, but I don't remember if we saw her in the Spade Saga. If we did, it was barely anything. But yeah, she goes to try and fight the angel, and she actually somehow counters the attack, and this is where we get into Soul Soul got randomly a lot stronger, and there's these weird fairies floating around her and laughing. And it's because it's a and Belle situation. Belle says, "Witness the power of our love. Together, you and I can control the flow of magic and time within this space, strengthening our allies' spells and weakening our enemies." And it's Star X Wind Spirit Magic Neverland. So remember, guys, I think that was like 2 months ago now. I made a video about how could fight Lucius. This was one of my things. I said that is going to do combo spells within himself. He's going to do combo spells between Star and Wind. And look at, he's doing it. So it's another prediction that I was kind of getting right on. Because remember, when I was making that video at the time, everybody was like, how in the hell is going to fight Lucius? He's going to get bodied. I'm like, no, has so much potential. So yeah, this is precisely one of the things that I mentioned. I think I also said that Belle would be more developed, and I mean, as you can clearly see, this is the most developed we've ever seen Belle. And basically this is a mana zone with Belle, and with the wind and the stars, this is a mana zone that covers the entire noble realm, and has stars swirling around it. And in this, all of their allies are empowered, and all of the villains, I guess, their antagonists, their opponents are weakened. And also we see, this is something else I also predicted, that Yuno's arm, like, it turns into mana, essentially. That's what it looks like, at the least. Like, it's literally, like, breaking apart his shirt, and it looks like it's the same material as the mana zone. Like, if you look at it, it looks the same. So I wonder if this is Star and Wind magic fused into his hand. And so yeah, that's what Neverland is. Controls the magic and flow of magic and time within the space. Now the reason for this, guys, is I don't know if you guys have ever seen or read Peter Pan, but in Peter Pan, Neverland is the world that they live in. And Neverland, nobody ages, so time doesn't pass. and that is kind of how they control the flow of time. Klaus admits that should be the Wizard King, and then now with all the Magic Knights, not healed, but they're strengthened, they're empowered, and these are also weakening the angels. Now they have confidence that they can fight the angel. And Lucius kind of takes note of this is going to be a little concerning, and he blitzes, kind of, I guess, traps him in a time orb, but doesn't really work because in Neverland, time stands still. Basically, this time doesn't move in Neverland, and that's why Lucius's time spells do not work. So, yeah, pretty crazy, right? That is kind of just going crazy over here. Lucius calls his rival, and that pisses off. He says, "I already have a rival, and it's not you." Transforms into his full spirit dive, activates Zephyr, and just slices right through Lucius's antler, and then hits him. Now there's this weird magic aura here. It almost makes me think that this isn't gonna do much to Lucius, but yeah, we remember, guys. This is just the start, right? What we still need is it's not even Saint stage. This is not a Saint stage, Zephyr. So he still can get stronger with the Saint stage if he goes into this full Saint stage. He also will probably have ultimate magic, I'm thinking. Maybe he'll use the magic stone. So, and also he's gonna need Notice, which is the final spirit weapon that he should have. So yeah, pretty interesting chapter, I believe. Gonna check up with the chat a little bit. Yeah, it looks like y'all are arguing in here. I'm in the poll just so I can see the chat a bit easier. Rip Leo. Yeah. So 143 votes. Pretty decent. You guys really like the chapter, it seems. Magic Stone is already being used? I don't think so. Why would you say the Magic Stone's already being used? It's just on his neck. It's just on his necklace like it normally is. I do not think he's using it. The 4th spirit weapon, yeah, it's gonna go hard. No, I don't think it's too OP. I mean, he's definitely, super powerful. Is way more fit to be the Wizard King. If you're talking about versus Asta, that's certainly debatable. I guess, the issue now is that, he has the power of a Wizard King, but he also has support spells, too, which Asta doesn't have nearly as much. His Giga Chad. His boss. But yeah, this has kind of led to a huge debate now. The Black Clover fandom was a lot of people have been predicting for a long time now that we would get immeasurable or inaccessible or infinite speed feats because of time magic now being used in Black Clover. And arguably, you have that now. Arguably, because time doesn't pass in Neverland, which means that essentially, if you move and stop time, you're either infinite or inaccessible speed. There's a massive debate on whichever it is. It would be at least infinite speed, which you could argue is actually supported now because you have Dorothy creating infinite realms in finite time and Yami destroying infinite realms in finite time, and now you have moving and stop time, which is at least infinite speed. So certainly possible. Isn't fit. Is fit to be a Wizard King. But Makima, I disagree with that. Building up, and trying to just push down Asta. And basically, Asta is a lot better than what you say. Do I think Lucius will start busting out gravity magic spells? That would be interesting because gravity should be a weakness to time stuff. So if we go over Yuno's hacks, let's see. Don't forget, Asta can basically negate most spells, but he can negate support spells from opposing party. He still has to scale to them, but also, like, you have to remember is that he would also need, like, he doesn't really have very well, like, support spells. Like, some of the best support spells he has right now is just, if all of his allies are affected by a spell, he can use Causality Break and break them from it. Thanks, Jake. I'm doing well and hope you are as well. I see, understand. Good night. Alright, good night, Gino. Do I think that Tabata will contradict the Black Clover speed scan with Morgan having light magic? I think it's possible, but I don't think so, because remember that we had Lightspeed introduced in, like, Chapter 47 of Black Clover, and then we had Lumiere return to the series in, like, 204, so a 160 chapter difference, where we had another Lightspeed mage, and it didn't do anything to contradict any sort of speed scaling. I'm assuming that you're thinking, like, because like Morgan will be stated to be light speed or something like that because he's using light magic, which, I mean, if that does happen, it wouldn't even contradict any scaling. It would just be an outlier. When Asta comes a game over. Well, right now, Yuno is likely stronger than Asta. Imagine if Yuno learned to read Key, then he'll be OP. Yeah, I mean, if he learned Key or Zed, that'd be pretty crazy. Also has mostly offensive and passive-based abilities. All I can think of is Blow Thrust, Infinity Slash, and Black Divider. He also has Causality Break. Neverland it is pretty powerful. More so in a group fight than in a one-on-one, though. I'd say Yuno is stronger as well. He probably is stronger than Asta right now. It's debatable, but it likely is Yuno because he actually did damage a stronger Paladin Lucius. Wonder what else the Angels can do. I wonder if they have regenerative properties. I would assume that they have regenerative properties, or they can turn people into Angels or Paladins. That's what I would kind of assume. But yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen with this, like, next chapter? So unfortunately, Black Clover's on break next week, so we're going to have to wait 2 weeks to get to know what happens next from here. So yeah, unfortunately, no chapter next week, which sucks because we get this amazing reveal, and we see seemingly, Wound, the evil Wizard King, the ultimate Wizard King, the Wizard Emperor, and Yuno's not even really going all out likely because he likely has ultimate magic or using his magic stone or his fourth spirit weapon. So, oh, we got a super chat from Brian Garcia. Thanks for that $5 super chat. Appreciate that a lot. You think Noel and Yuno have weapons training? We've seen them use weapons, but without being told they've trained. So it depends on what you mean by weapons training. Like, have they had like a mentor teach them how to use weapons? Like, say, like a swordsman, like a sword master or whatever. Have they trained Yuno or Noel? I don't think so. Have they trained with their weapons they create? Definitely. But I don't think they've been trained by a master, per se. What's up, Emo Boyo? Thanks for coming in. We're on a hot streak of chapters. We are, yeah. But, so, like, one of my concerns is if Tabata is taking too much inspiration from Bleach, what could the implications be for next chapter? Or in the next few chapters? That could be, if you don't remember, when Yuha Bak first showed up in Bleach, and he was the super powerful character and fought Yamamoto, remember, it was revealed that he really wasn't even Yuha Bak. It was one of his minions pretending to be him. Now, because of how much influence Bleach has on Tabata for Black Clover, it's possible, but I hope it doesn't happen, that this is not even Lucius. Like, that's what I'm almost wondering, like, what this weird stuff is on Lucius. It could just be, like, you know, a lot of magic power. It almost makes me think it might be transformation magic or something. But, look, like, when it's hitting him, it's like it's going through him and not even really doing anything, no blood or anything. If this is an illusion or a not real Lucius, that would be, you know, definitely a huge call to Yuha Box fight when he was really just it wasn't even him. I really hope this is not the case for Lucius. I would not like that. Bleach was rushed, unlike Black Clover. I don't think Bleach at that time was rushed, because that was at the very beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War. Was that Yuno's fake video a dream? What do you mean, was it a dream? Lucius got Shadow Clones. And how come Bill doesn't attack like Fulgolion Salamander? I mean, she does sometimes. She hasn't done that in a while, though. Or was that a joke? Well, first, Evo, before I tell you that, what did you think about it? When did you think W3 will get the Rasengan? I think the next chapter, either we'll continue with Yuno versus Lucius and we see Lucius bust out some new move or technique, or we get a point of view change to another Magic Knight versus a Paladin or Black Bulls. That could be interesting, but I don't think it's going to cut just yet. Yuno is the strongest imaginary friend. Yeah, he is Crimches. Exactly, but how would he be fake? Well, Evo, I would... So, like, I would really be very wary about theories or videos that are uploaded on April Fools. We need some death. I think we will get some. I think the logic is dumb. Why kill off half the Golden Dawn? Why have Yuno in the kingdom currently fighting without Asta's knowledge? What are you talking about? Thanks for using that video. So much fun to watch. I'm glad you liked it. What do you think happened to... Ooh, that's a good question, Brian T. I don't know what happened to Ryu Scroll after losing his Yoryoku. Because scrolls, if they are the equivalent of grimoires, they would be made of magic power. That's interesting. I wonder if it dissipated. What's up, Beaky? Welcome to my... Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome, Ern. Exactly, Phantom. Don't take anything seriously. Byron, what's your take on Yuno being able to control the flow of magic and time? I think that's pretty awesome. Definitely makes it so that it's fairly likely that Black Clover has infinite speed, because that's now essentially 3 separate feats or statements of infinite speed. Where would you scale Lucius and Yuno as the most recent chapter? I mean, probably still, at the very least, large planetary. Large planetary to multi-solar system to infinite universal. Or high universal, which is infinite. But I think the most likely is either large planetary or universal, like high universal. Doesn't even control time. He does control it. That's what it's stated to be. Within that space, they control the flow of magic and time. And then that way, no time passes. So I don't know why you're saying that he doesn't control it. It's actually a measurable speed? No, not really. LTY. If you're talking about Yuno's ability, it wouldn't be a measurable speed. At least not yet. If he does something, if he does an immeasurable speed feat, then yeah. HSBS inaccessible speed is above infinite speed. Now that's kind of true. The issue is that there's a huge debate on whether inaccessible speed is even a thing. And I'm kind of in the middle on it. Like, I think that there could be inaccessible speed, or it could just be the same thing. Because, like, the whole debate is like, if you do move at infinite speed, you technically move places in 0 time. So, our Black Clover MFTL Plus or have new speed feed? Well, I mean, depending on if we get more explanation, well, it's likely going to have infinite speed. But if he controlled it, why can't he reverse it or speed it up, controlling it or negating it? I mean, we're talking about one chapter, Evo. And in that one chapter, he is controlling time so that time doesn't exist. So, like, it just would be really weird to assume that he can't do any of that just because in one chapter we haven't seen him do all of that. Because, like, it is stated, together, you and I can control the flow of magic and time within this space. So it's, like, just blatantly stated. I mean, could it be possible that he can't control it like that? Yeah. It could very well be possible that he cannot control it like that. But it's just one chapter. So we can't really say. Asta's MFTL plus in base. Yeah, Isaiah. That's possible, Pillager. Yami and Achika team up. Sabiki, I have been talking about this with some people. Yami and Achika could be a cool team up. But you don't think I would actually be an even better team up? Is if either Yami becomes a devil because of his devil heart, or it's that Annie becomes a paladin. Imagine a paladin Yami, and it's the inverse of the Elf Saga, where Yami had to fight Charla, which is Elf Charlotte. Imagine if Charlotte had to fight paladin Yami, right? But also, you have Achika there. Achika and Charlotte versus Paladin and Yami. Because then you would have Achika getting her chance to save Yami, like how he saved her back when Yami, right before Yami saved her from her father. But also, it'd be interesting because you have Charlotte wants Yami, and then it could be a way for her to get approval from Achika. So getting approval from the sister, bonding as, you know, future sisters. I think that could be really cool. So, like, Yami and Achika fighting together could be cool. But I think Charlotte and Achika together versus Yami would be even better. Wait, since time has stopped, that means... Here's the thing. Technically, yeah, anybody within the mana zone has inaccessible speed. The issue with that is nobody in that mana zone scales to it except for Yuno, because he actually is amping them with the spell. So nobody actually necessarily scales to it, but I mean, it probably will be because it's too interconnected for it to not, but isn't Devil Yami theory refuted? He has a devil heart, so no, it's not refuted. My God, Brian. My God. What is this? Something I've been wondering is that Neverland seems like was created specifically to counter Lucius. Did Yuno create that spell during the few days before Judgment Day? That screen stuff, I really wish we know. Oh shit, I didn't mean to press that. I really hope we do figure that out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was within the week before Judgment Day, or if it was something that he had figured out within the 15 months. I kind of hope it's both. That he kind of got the gist of, oh, this is a really crazy spell I could possibly do over the 15 months. But then, you know, with Asta possibly dying, the Wizard King being evil, he's like, oh, okay, maybe I really need to work on this spell and refine it in the next week before the world gets taken over. The Neverland amp is infinite. Arguably. You could argue that. I definitely think we should wait and see the next few chapters before anything's kind of solid. Do you still think the Ryuzen are probably still stronger than the captains, even with Yami as Demon Heart? Yeah. The captains haven't done really anything yet. But all we know is that William, who, if we go by narratively, he is one of the strongest captains. He's weaker than base, you know. And Jack got blitzed by a paladin in one shot. And besides that, all we really know is that Lucius considers none of the captains a threat at all. So and then if we go beyond that, there's just no feats for them, right? Versus the reusing have feats and scaling, so it's hard to say, but I'd say that as of right now, we have to go with the reason. Hey, just question: have you read One Piece? I have not, extra user. I do plan on reading it. Do you Lucius, the devil magic of the fallen paladins, return to Lucius? I think you have to rephrase that, the pillager. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're asking. Final message. I've thought about doing that. I made one a long time ago, but honestly, there's so much more additions to the power system Black Clover. Maybe that's a good idea. Do you not read One Piece? You won't like it. I mean, I've already read 330 so odd chapters in the past, and it's pretty good. Um, so I already disagree with you there. Is it my favorite? No, it's not. But I like it a lot. By getting an NPC to infinite speed by Neverland spell, so their AP is going to be amped as well. So they are universal with that amp. I mean, yeah, if we go by that logic, it should be, yeah. Do I think the magic attributes of devils of fallen paladins will return to Lucius' control? Yeah. Like I said, I think it's going to be similar to Yuhabak. That'd be a good idea, Spade. Tita Dogello, is there any lore behind grimoires? Are they crafted? How old are they? They are linked to the soul and choose people, so maybe they're living magic artifacts like the one in the light novel. So yeah, we don't really know. That's the issue, is that one of the most important things in Black Clover are the grimoires. And really all we know is that they're connected to the soul, that different countries have different grimoires, that grimoires are literally just, they're made of magic power. They make it so people can make more powerful spells, and it makes their magic power increase. There seems to be some sort of a space inside of the grimoires, because Liebeck got sealed inside of it. And there's like a space inside of it. So it's not like he was like in the pages. He was actually in like a space inside of the grimoire. So yeah, I mean, we really don't know a lot. Which I think is, if Black Clover ends without a lot of explanation on grimoires, I think that'll be a missed opportunity. But yeah, we really don't know too much. Without, maybe they are living things. And for you asked, I think, how old are they? We know they're at least 500 years old. Because we know that they had grimoires 500 years ago. Excuse me. It's been hard to determine how old they really are, though. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out anything that can add to it. I think there is evidence, maybe, that they haven't been around for much longer than 500 years, because, and we've seen some images of the first Heart Queen when she met Undine, and the Heart Queen does not have her grimoire in those images. Now, maybe it's on the other side of her, or maybe it's hidden, but I think that's just, it's very minor evidence. It's really hard to say. It really, really is. Oh, shit. What if Lucius has the Dryad? Damn. What's your tank card current Uno versus Mosh? Uno would beat Mosh. You were debating on the sub, and some just said they didn't like you. You talking about like the subreddit of Black Clover? You still plan on making the Sukuna scaling video? You're gonna wait for the current event to end. Um, I put that on the back burner. I am making a different video. I'm making Gojo versus 20 Finger Sukuna instead. And then, yeah, I'll probably do a video just to Sukuna in the future. But yeah, because I was going to make the Sukuna video, but then, like, after he took over, somebody's body, I wanted to wait a little bit, see what he's up to. But, yeah, I mean, the Black Clover subreddit, like, there are a lot, I'm not going to say, like, the whole place, because, like, but, yeah, there's a lot of people that hate me on there, like, it's mainly just because those people that hate me are just stupid, to be honest. Like, these are the same people that said I was an idiot for saying that Yami was Arcane Stage. So, again, I'm not saying it's the whole Reddit, but, like, most people that hate me on that Reddit are just actually stupid. Like I said, it goes back to they thought I was an idiot for saying that Yami was Arcane Stage, like, years ago. That's just the type of people that we're dealing with on there. And then besides that, there's people that say, that my power scaling sucks, and the people who usually say that, they don't like power scaling. So it's pretty obvious if people don't like power scaling that they're not going to be very good at it. So, but besides that, I'm sure the Reddit's fine. But I mean, it's a Reddit. Reddit's a Reddit. But there'll always be haters. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. We're fighting people that Lucius is stronger than Lucifero on base, yeah. Fauna had fire magic. I mean, she had fire and mineral magic. Hey, area that we can't please everybody, of course. That's for sure. Time skip Nico Robin versus... I don't know, man. I'm not that far in One Piece. Reddit flames me for power scaling and theories. Twitter flames me for power scaling. Yeah. I still remember when I made the Lucius theory video, everybody said I was stupid. Then it happened. And then all of a sudden, it was so obvious. But... I mean, it's a Reddit, right? Do you do TikTok? Not yet. Dope. Feels like Luck's gonna die? Why do you think Luck's gonna die? What's worse, Reddit or Twitter? I think the Reddit. If we're talking about Black Clover communities, it's Reddit. But, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of not necessarily fair. Because, like, every type of community is going to have people that are not, good at representing them. Like, almost every community, once it gets big enough, is going to be toxic or whatever. But, so, like, I'm sure most of the Reddit's fine. Like I said, it's just a few people. But, yeah, from what I've seen, the Twitter's better. Yeah, I thought Luck was 18, not 19 at the start of the series. In Peter Pan, the way to get to Neverland is by flying to the second star on the right, straight on until morning. Yep. I think that Lucius turned all the Diamond Mages into angels, because as far as we know, the Diamond Kingdom basically doesn't exist anymore. I know. It's so disappointing. Like, we got interesting stuff with the Diamond Kingdom. We got Mars and Ladros and Fauna and Fonzel and Mariella, Domina. We got characters that could be pretty interesting. But don't know why Tabata just doesn't want to bring it up yet. Like, I thought we were totally going to get Mars and Ladros in the Spade Saga. It just made so much sense because the Diamond were the first to be invaded by the Spades. You have Morris fleeing to go join the Spades. Like, that made so much sense for Mars and Ladros to be present in there. Diamond Arc had a straight up Envu Black Ops, and they only showed up like twice. Yeah. I don't understand what the angels with Lucius are. Are they purified devils or paladins about? I mean, it makes it seem like they are just humans. Let's go read the dialogue again. Because Morris talks about it. He says, he's taken rebels who weren't suited to the new world and reformed, combined, and transformed them into that world's guardian angels. Traitors who threw the world into confusion have become beings who bring order to it. What a rational world. So, I mean, technically devils, I guess, could be rebels. But, so maybe, like, I would, if before this chapter, I would have guessed that these are just devils that were purified. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, they could be humans. I hope that we get some more information on it. But my previous post, Broku, I didn't see it. Knowing how Tabata does things upon Asta's arrival in Clover, we might see a panel of Mars leading the new Diamond Guardians to assist in the battle. Or Diamond Generals, I mean. Exactly how Zora and Magna pulled. Damn. Yeah, I mean, that's possible, Spade. I mean, I hope for it, because I want to see Mars and Ladros. I want to see the Diamond Kingdom again. Should healing mages get nerfed? Nah. I don't think they're gonna need to be nerfed with the type of power they're dealing with. I mean, yeah, you're right, Key 360. Where was Lotus at the end of that? Tatsumaki versus Asta. Yeah, I think that Asta's anti-magic could work on Neverland as long as he's strong enough. Diamond Mages led by Asta would be pretty cool when... Pretty cool. I think I made a theory a long time ago that Mars, Ladros, Fonzel, all those people would eventually flee the Diamond Kingdom and they would join Asta's squad. That's actually one of my most popular videos, I think. Lucius about putting an end to the Clover Kingdom, yeah. The angels could be people all mashed together. That's a good, actually, that's a really good theory, Key. That each of them are a bunch of people combined and then purified. That actually is a good idea. That would definitely explain why they have so many magic types. These streams be making Sundays wholesome. W Brookie. Well, thanks for coming in today. Appreciate that. Watchdog Man versus Seke. Is Watchdog Man the dude from One Piece, or not One Piece, One Punch Man? Your coworker saw you comment that Ichika was sniff a bullet. Bro, you are so down bad. You are so down bad. Beginning with a theory that Lucius preparing for something big threat that's coming like a dark god. I would actually like that. Basically, in the Legends of Star Wars, which is like the old canon before Disney bought it and made all of it non-canon, that's what Palpatine was doing, the Emperor of Star Wars, because he saw a threat, like a great threat, and that's why he wanted to make the Empire, partially, is to protect the galaxy from that threat. Which I thought made Palpatine, even though of course he's still evil, he's still bad, but made him more interesting. He at least had a purpose to do all that, or a greater purpose. So that'd be really cool if Lucius was doing that. He's doing this to protect humanity, because they're not going to do well against this dark threat unless if they're paladins, because they're going to be way stronger, they can't die, so... Beerus enters the world. That'd be GG's Black Clover. Steve Irwin, I think it's possible that, yeah, that the survivors flee to the Land of the Sun. I don't know. It'd be a little weird, though, to have Asta and the Ryuzen show up, and then they fail and just to go back to the Land of the Sun. I'd almost like that, though, because I want to learn more about the Land of the Sun. The Dark Thread is Megicula. Yes. It needs to be. That'd be so awesome. That's going to be another thing. Like, if I'm correct about that Megicula theory, bro, I'm gonna be gloating. I don't care. I'm Team Noel extra user. As in, like, Asta's gonna be getting her. Or I guess she's gonna be getting Asta, because she's the one who wants him, for sure. Whereas, we don't necessarily exactly know what Asta wants. Naruto versus Asta. Yeah, it'll be an interesting talk. Tabata is definitely cooking with Mars and the Witch Queen. That's another character. When is the Witch Queen gonna be coming back? BC would definitely win. 70 Sun's final attack combined was amped 32 to 64 times. It's not powerful enough to destroy Britannia. See, that was my logic when I originally did Black Bulls with 70 Sins. The issue is that I was in that video downplaying both the Black Bulls and 70 Sins. I think 70 Sins are definitely well above country level. But I still think the Black Bulls win. And I will be doing an Asta versus Meliodas video in the future. So, because I actually went through and I reread all of 70 Sins. I read Four Nights of the Apocalypse. And I wrote a loose script with a lot of notes of how strong Meliodas is. I just don't know if I'm going to do a video just on Meliodas and just talk about how strong he is and then do Asta versus Meliodas, or do just start with Asta versus Meliodas. I don't know. I think that Liebe will get a power up. He already technically has, as Asta said that both him and Liebe got stronger over the 15 months. But Sleeping Danger, when is the next Spinner collab? Pretty soon. We're going to be recording our next collab this week. And it'll probably come out in 2 weeks. So that one will be a fun one, for sure. Is Knights of the Apocalypse good? I haven't gone to Reddit yet. 70 Cent. Yeah, so Four Knights of the Apocalypse is like the quality level of beginning of Seven Deadly Sins. Like, I feel like the first arc of Seven Deadly Sins, or the first, like, the first saga or whatever, is like peak. Seven Deadly Sins, and Four Knights of the Apocalypse is as quality, like as good as that. Yeah, Onos is probably too strong for Black Clover. I've never read or watched that series, but I've seen shit. But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins is good. I like it. I've thought about making videos on it or Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I've been wanting to do kind of like an inverse, like I guess inverse isn't the best phrase for, but like Seven Deadly Sins versus Lucifero, and then maybe like Black Bulls versus the Demon King. But I don't know. I definitely have been thinking about making videos on that series for a long time now. It's just about what to make. It's probably going to be more so power scaling, but I try not to be only doing power scale. I'm trying to make half my content power scaling and half not, because I don't want to be always doing power scaling stuff. A One Punch Man verse versus Black Clover verse. See, I don't know. I mean, I'm super far behind on One Punch Man. I don't even remember how far I got. I know that like Garo or whatever and Saitama got to like either it's multi-solar system or multi-galaxy level. I don't know. Zera versus Dark Schneider. That could be interesting. I know Dark Schneider is broken. Power scaling can be pretty cringe. It can be cringe, but I think it's also interesting as hell. But sometimes it does get cringe, I will agree. Sometimes it just be getting silly. I wonder if Magna at start of the series could be an A-class hero. I don't know. Comics power scaling very goofy? That could be. We definitely need that stream with you and Rax after this chapter. I mean, I would be down. I just don't think he wants to anymore. I asked him a few times. I think that was like a month ago now. He just didn't seem like he wanted to do it anymore. What's an ending to this arc you'd like to see? I think it'd be really cool if, like, we get Yuno versus Lucius, we get more of the fights of the captains versus the paladins, and at the end of the Yuno versus Lucius fight, Yuno's been winning, but Lucius reveals his trump card, and then it just flashes to the Black Bulls, the Ryuzen and Asta coming to the Clover Kingdom from the Land of the Sun to help. And then when they get to the Clover Kingdom, everything looks fine. There's no battle. There's no fights. The buildings aren't destroyed. Everything looks pristine. But everybody's turned into a paladin. Like, Lucius is just completely taken over. I think that could be pretty jarring, but also really, like, in a jarring in a good way. Archie Sonic versus Black. I think it's Archie Sonic takes it. I know Archie Sonic's broken. Like Dragon Ball. Like, stronger than Dragon Ball levels of broken. I couldn't handle seeing Paladin, you know? It depends on how it's done. Rom-com anime? Um, it can be good. I think it's called Domestic Girlfriend. I've read a fair amount about. I read a fair amount of that, and that was fine. It's really funny seeing Gojo fans losing their mind, but you spit, dude. Like, it's so funny because every day, like, that video still is getting me views. Like, every day a Gojo fan comments like, "Bro, Gojo's gonna use domain expansion and Asta can't move," even though, like, I clearly showed in the video that domain expansions don't affect people that don't have cursed energy. Like, Asta wouldn't. He'd just be like Maki when she was in Naoya's domain. It didn't do anything to her because she doesn't have cursed energy. It's so silly. Like, I get it because JJK is super popular and Gojo is like the strongest character in JJK. So when you have popularity and the strongest character in a popular show, everybody thinks that character can beat everybody. That is why, like, when years ago when Dragon Ball Super was going, when that was really like the biggest, and this is the same for One Piece too. Like, if you take the strongest character from One Piece, which really it's a powerful verse, but it's nowhere near the top. But people will say that Luffy or Kaido, they would body like certain verses and stuff, or Attack on Titan. I've seen, Attack on Titan is weak as hell, but because it's so popular, I've seen like people argue that certain characters can fight like very very powerful characters, but it's just interesting how power scaling works like that. Heh, Toji is way better than Gojo. Yeah, Toji is pretty interesting. I love it. The time where he just pulled a gun on a cursed spirit. Will be verse stronger than my Dragon Ball verse. Sorry for everyone. What? Heavenly Restriction is different than somebody having no cursed energy. Cursed energy is basically like a weird mix between chi. I mean, it actually really isn't, because like it's stated that Maki doesn't have cursed energy, and that's why she can't be seen, and like the effects of domain expansions don't work on her. So, oh, Matt Metalwolf. I've seen that Minato versus the Flash. That was so funny. That was only a couple weeks ago, I think, when there was like a very like popular tweet. They got like thousands, tens of thousands of likes. Asa versus Natsu, who wins? Probably Natsu, but I don't know. Marileona versus Astier. I really want that, the Pillager, for one, because we know that Astier was Marileona's like mentor, like she trained Marileona, and we also know that Marileona wanted to defeat her, but she never could. So this would be like her opportunity to do so. But yeah, Deku versus Demon Slayer verse. Demon Slayer verse gets clapped pretty bad. Why didn't we get dragons, no spirits in Black Clover? Huh? We got the 5-headed dragon. Yeah, we did get a dragon. Technically, the fire spirit salamander is called a dragon too. Yeah, it's crazy how. That's the other thing. I remember I was talking about. If a verse is very popular, its strongest characters will be perceived to be very strong. This happens to Demon Slayer. Like, people somehow think that Demon Slayer characters are incredibly powerful. Like, I see Asta versus Tanjiro matchups all the time, even though Tanjiro would literally, like, he could fight like almost anybody in Black Clover and get his shit rocked. Yeah, I am gonna watch Marshall, Mr. Star. I'm excited for Marshall. When will Asta finally obtain the black? He has the black clover, bro. The black clover is the 50 clover grimoire. It's a black clover. Because the clover turns black when it turns into a 5th leaf. Yeah, that one was fully egregious, but also kind of a clapback at that thing with the heavily restricted. It's clearly something else as it's not as they're just a regular human being. I don't. I never said that they're a regular human being though. I don't know what you mean. They just don't have cursed energy. Like they're super strong. But that would just be like Asta, and that's why the domain wouldn't work on them. How big is the five-headed dragon, Byron? It's big. It can be like relative to the size of Japan, like because there are shots in the full like spread shots. It's like hundreds of over 100 kilometers or dozens of kilometers big. Then there's other shots where it's like just far bigger than buildings. But if you, I think people actually went and they took every single image of the dragon, calculated size, and averaged it out, and it's still like dozens of kilometers big. You know it's gonna lose and turn into Jesus. What the heck? Like, because I don't get what would be the actual like difference between Toji or Maki and Asta would be. Like, there's really no difference when we're talking about like a power scaling of Asta versus Gojo. Like, I get the heavenly restriction. Like, it takes their curse energy and they get like their body becomes really strong. That's like what happened to Toji and Maki. That's really no different from Asta. Like, Asta would have no curse energy because he has no magic. Yuno would actually defeat Lucius, and then Lucius would transform into something so OP and out of control when Yuno would be at his end. Would finally be the OP main character show up. Oh my gosh, you want Asta to show up and save him? Am I going to analyze Neverland for power scaling soon? Not soon, no. Excuse me. I'm not going to make a video on how strong Yuno is, and like I might as well just wait till the end of the fight, for being honest. I think Yuno's gonna get more stuff, so I will make a video on Yuno when we get more stuff for him for sure. But Moha, the Fairy Tail is definitely into the planetary levels. Way into the planetary levels. Yeah, Brian, I think Asta will learn the devil language in his grimoire. And that'll make him more powerful. Like, he'll have anti-magic spells that he'll read off and shit. Fairy Tail is Large Planet. At least. I think, honestly, I think it's Fairy Tail's a lot higher than Large Planet. But, like I said, I'll read it at some point. Again, I've already read all of Fairy Tail, but I want to get caught up. But right now I'm reading Record of Ragnarok, so. Then after Record of Ragnarok, I don't know if I'm going to read One Piece or I'm going to read Fairy Tail. I don't, Matt Meadowolf, I don't, like, that's what I said. I don't know if we're even disagreeing here. Why is the Spear Dive wasn't Saint Stage? Well, we don't see Yuno's Saint Stage. I think he might not even be going full y'all out right now. Well, yeah. Last question from Extra User. Do you think we'll get an Underworld arc? I don't think so. I think that it's kind of too late for that now. But yeah, I gotta go, guys. I gotta work. I got some stuff to edit for y'all, and then also, this is my last day of spring break. I got school tomorrow, so I gotta get ready for that. But yeah, it was a good stream. I'll stream again in the middle of this week, and then I'll stream again on Sunday, even though we don't got a chapter next week. But thank you guys so much for the support. Thanks for the super chats, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day.